Today's edition of Mike Mayo's Lunchbox is brought to you by Keel Fish Shack, now with 2 locations, Lauderdale by the Sea and the new spot on Los Olas.
Hold the Mayo. It's time for Mike Mayo's Lunchbox. Find out what's being served with Mike, Defo, and Lubie, the only show that covers food, sports, and the proper maintenance of your car. And now, a man who had the distinction of having an entire health clinic named in his honor, Mike Mayo.
I want the flim flam sauce with the awesome fave, with shafafa on the side.
Hey, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Mike Mayo's Lunchbox. And right on cue, the Lunchbox lunch is arriving. We're at Keel Fish Shack, Lauderdale by the Sea. Defo DeForest. Defo, I forgot his first name. Jeff, I'm discombobulated today, Defo. I don't know why.
Nothing new.
Yeah, well, you know how I talk about being disgruntled and I'd rather be gruntled? I think I'd rather be combobulated. Is that a word, or am I making things up? Lubie, how are you?
I'm well, sir. Nice to see both of you gentlemen. How you guys doing?
We're good. Defo, you took a walk down here or you drove?
No, I did my walk before. I had to go to the bank. I got stuck behind some clown, one teller. I actually have to go back there now after the show because I was going to be late for the post time. However, we got going a little bit late, so
these days, kind of post times, it's like at Gulfstream Park. They're a suggestion. You say 1:30, and it's more like by the time they load the gate and let the pick 4 pool swell another $50,000, it's 1:35. So no harm, no foul. What happened? Who was the clown? Were they making a deposit with singles and dimes, or was it just one of those?
I was behind one guy, and I had to order some deposit slips, so I was going to have to talk to the guy. So I didn't want to do the thing where you send the chute through the thing and it goes through. So meanwhile, a guy pulls into that aisle. Now there are 2 guys blocking me. And as of 1:15, neither of them moved.
This is in the drive-through lanes.
Drive-through
I
lane,
used to
yeah.
hate to drive and done it so long.
And I'm making a cash deposit, and all I want to tell the guy is, hey, order me some more deposit slips. But and this is a great bank in general, but it's not the branch I normally deal with. And unfortunately, I just said, hey, I don't want to be late for the Mike Mayo lunchbox because there might be food on the table.
Well,
and with you 2 guys, it might all be gone by the time I get here. So,
well, you were right on time.
Yeah.
You got here actually before
but
the
I now
host.
have to go back there because I had to back out and then, make a bunch of maneuvers and try and get here on time.
That sucks. And it also sucks when the drive-through line at the bank is longer than the one at the Arby's because, as we know, Arby's never has more than one.
Last time I was there, though, the overplayers were dancing in the streets.
Really?
They were like,
That was actually
I
people
might
there.
be that fried turkey sandwich.
I don't know.
I have one for you, Mayo, though. What hoopened to
Here's to beer, Red Stripe.
what
Hooray beer.
happened to
Let's have a little-
Quiznos? Quiznos.
Quiznos just
Do they
they
not
just
exist?
fizzled
disappeared?
out. Yeah,
I
think
actually liked it
They were solid.
at one time. Yeah.
we could have a
How
discussion
long
one day
How long ago did they disappear?
about chain sub places. My daughter actually likes Jersey Mike's a lot.
See, I think they're fair at best.
They're okay.
Subway at one point was like acceptable, and it just went completely into the garbage.
I used to like
tailspin.
Subway until we found out about the ingredients.
Well, the tuna
The
is
tuna thing
is-
ruined
is
me 'cause I
the
used to like their
paste of
tuna.
God knows what.
Yeah.
You
but
don't have
actually,
it.
it was good. That's the
I used
funny
to
part.
love their tuna. That's
Yeah.
the problem.
Really? I
was
never
a big fan
liked
of
their
their tuna
tuna.
sandwich.
I did.
Yeah.
I
used to
never
like
liked
it.
their meatballs. I never liked their combo subs, but back when you could get a $5 foot long, sometimes if it was
It
late,
did the job.
it was reasonable and it filled you up, especially if you put enough toppings on it. But
Exactly.
meanwhile,
It doesn't rival the grilled oysters here.
no,
Yeah.
and when you talk
No,
about
no.
fish and tuna and things like that, Keel Fish Shack is the place to go.
Look at this.
A lot of people are in for the holidays. A lot of people on the Let's Eat South Florida group are looking for places to go with their visiting aunts and uncles. They want to come out to a place that's not too formal, not too stuffy, but the food is still good. And this is the perfect spot because you can come out, commercial, A1A, go to the beach. Today it's a little bit drizzly, a little overcast. You come here and you just drink at the
But
bar
you know
all
what?
day.
For most of the day, it was actually really, really nice.
It was up until the point that I got here because the little black cloud that's been following me.
Supposedly, I mean, and we always say if you book the weatherman's action, you'd be a rich person. But supposedly it's going to rain like the next couple of days.
Yeah,
But
so
before that set in, honestly, this morning I was walking the Great Skippy Dog, and I saw a woman coming back from the beach across the street here from my place at Lighthouse, Lauderdale by the Sea. And she said it couldn't be any more beautiful of a day, and she couldn't have been any more right. But when I went on my walk of life around 11 o'clock, so by the time I got back 12:30, it already was really clouded up.
Yep.
Then it got nice again, and now it's this.
Well, as we know, things change, and
Especially
it's,
South Florida.
South Florida weather. It's just like New England. It's like you wait a minute. Oh, look at that! We've got soup in a canister is going to be poured in a second.
Uh-oh.
How are you, Brad? We don't know his part. His whereabouts are unknown. Apparently, it was his birthday
Some
either
parts unknown.
yesterday.
Oh, yesterday?
Oh, so
geez,
he's
there's
definitely
no way.
going to be on the disabled list today.
Yeah,
We
I
know Brad. Oh,
There's
look at
no
this.
way.
This is the
Oh, that's your thing, man.
coconut curry
Oh, look
pumpkin
at
soup. The award-winning. This
Award-winning.
one won. It took down the People's Choice
A little bit of lobster squash,
lobster
pumpkin seed.
squash and pumpkin seed
more.
with a coconut curry base. And
looks
this
good.
won the Visit Lauderdale Food and Wine Festival
2
Grand
years ago.
Tasting Competition 2 years ago when it was 53 degrees outside. And we're going to be joined now. We'll keep the canister upright so we won't spill anything. But we're joined by the chef, who is filling in capably.
It's good to be here.
What's going on?
Just hanging out, making it happen. It's been a busy week last week, and now we're just catching up, trying to get
beautiful.
ready for the weekend.
Couple of days in between, I guess, between the boat parade on Saturday and just more people coming out and coming
course.
down and all that stuff. So what's going on? Christmas Day, Christmas Eve, you guys open all those days?
Yeah,
or-
we'll be open. The only day out the year we're closed for holidays is Thanksgiving.
Okay.
And that's kind of, pay homage to what we do, and
Yeah.
it's kind of the last day we want to be here,
Give thanks to everybody.
Of
Now,
course.
how long have you been working here? Because it's
I've been here almost 3 years now.
wow. Okay, so it's a good deal. Have you gone
Oh,
back
real
and forth
good
to the
deal.
Las Olas? And
Yeah,
the,
I actually spend about 3 days at the other location, help out with the
with
other owner, Dave.
Yep.
Great culinarian, great guy.
Yeah, no, then both locations, again, the one on Las Olas that opened up, it's about a year ago, maybe a little less. And I guess people are finding their way there. It's great, similar menu, great seafood items, great also low-key vibe right on the canal there.
Oh, yeah.
And 1111 East Las Olas Boulevard is the address down there.
Mhm.
Have you made it down to that one yet, Defo? I guess
I've
it's-
only done 2-3 shows with you.
Oh,
down
right,
there.
okay.
Yeah. You don't usually notice if I'm here, but by the way, this is dynamite.
Right?
And I always have to say this. I mean, among the best French fries, people are always looking for good French fries, and they're
Oh, yeah, straight
talking
cut.
Nathan's,
Yeah.
this, that, the other thing. This is a great extrapolation on the average.
And these are never frozen.
No, they're
yeah,
fresh
right,
cut
yeah,
every
yeah.
morning, and you
Wash
can
them
taste
every
it.
day,
You can
yeah.
taste the difference. And I went a little off script, or usually people think of seafood here, but you do a really good double smash burger, and I got that. And just to clarify for the witness on the stand, I was kind of referring to, did you ever make it down there for a full dinner where you're not having a headset and having to
Doesn't
talk
matter to
and
me.
sit
I
next to
mean,
me, yeah.
and now are you doing something different with the grilled oysters? Because there's it seems like you've exploded with some new flavors on this.
Oh
thing.
yeah, so those micro roots are actually like micro wasabi. It gives it a little bit of sweet, like kind of that peppery taste, the after finish. It's really nice. It complements the oyster. The chili oil and the scallion butter are still the same.
Really good.
And then our crispy garlic crunch that we do on top is like our signature stuff on.
Well, that's him.
Put
Mr.
it on
Crunch.
everything, you
Yeah.
know. It's
Captain
like all
Crunch
purpose.
over
Yeah.
Yeah.
nice stuff.
This is great.
I don't
Right.
think- have we had you on the show? My memory's obviously
I
shot.
think
I don't
one
remember.
time.
Hmm?
I think one time when
Yeah.
Nico, our old Sue, he was a great guy. He moved on. He has a kid now.
Okay, yeah.
You
So
know,
you
he's
wanted
only
more
about a couple years older than me, so
okay,
you
you
know.
wanted more standard hours. I know.
Yeah,
that's what
he's got
happens.
more responsibilities now. So,
Mm. It's
but
all
he's
good.
doing great. I just talked to him recently.
Very nice. So, did you see Brad yesterday? Was he like imbibing or just
No, I
celebrating?
think he was.
or-
I think he was out with his girlfriend. I think they celebrated his birthday yesterday. The Sunday he was here.
Mm.
And I told him, I'm like, dude, what are you doing? Like, why are you at work on your birthday?
well, it's
That's just how he is. He doesn't.
yeah, no, and again,
He's not crazy with the celebration.
a lot of
party.
people in the biz, they end up making their weekends the party days and just kind of celebration days on Mondays. Mondays are kind of
Oh,
a
yeah.
little bit lower key,
laid back.
but it's all good. But gearing up for a big winter season here. And of course, you guys are going to also be taking part in the Visit Lauderdale Food and Wine Festival. I know you always come up with some tricks up your sleeve for that.
I was actually just at the food and wine for West Palm Beach.
Oh, you guys were up there too.
with
Wow.
with Chef David. Yeah,
Very
really
nice.
great. We did the same soup actually.
Okay, was it a hit?
It was a hit. Yeah, it was great. We sold out. 3,000 people there. We had over 1,500 portions. Give or take. But
Yeah. So
some people coming up. Oh, can I get 2? Can I have 3, 4?
right,
I got shows to my friend, and we ran out quick, but
It's that tasty.
it
Good
was
stuff.
great. Yeah, really fun. A lot of great chefs there. Lots of really good wine. Good vibe, you know. I think it was in the convention center.
Yeah,
I
they
think.
have a big
Huge.
layout
Oh,
there.
huge inside.
And I think I've only been to their grand tasting only one time back when I was a food writer at the Sun Sentinel, and I would cover both counties.
Sweet.
But they've got it's banging up there. All those good chefs. Pushkar, I know you work with those
he's
guys.
great. Yeah, those Staj, he's a great chef.
And I see that Staj, and then he opened up the traditional Indian place with his mom, and then I see now he opened up
It's
a
like
new
a market.
mango something, like Mango Mart or something.
It's like it's like a market restaurant kind of thing. It's
Sandwiches,
really
and
cool.
takeaway. And I didn't realize that Pushkar is always really talented, and he's talking about bringing one of his stage to Boca Raton, but I don't know where things stand with that. But it's all good. And I'm glad when all the
That'd be awesome.
culinary talent gets together and gets to kind of just kick back a little bit. But excellent job on the soup.
Of course. Thanks, man.
Good luck with all the upcoming holidays. It's going to get a little
Oh,
crazy.
it's gonna get crazy. Yeah, this week coming up should be fun. But yeah, we're ready. We're ready for anything.
Between the food and the drink, there's definitely something to satisfy every palate here.
I know, right?
Again, we'll let you get back to the kitchen.
Yeah,
although
of course.
It's it's going to be it's a day that's going to be slowly awakening, and
People are trying to get ready, I guess, for the weekend.
Yeah,
a lot of people coming in out of town.
I drove by the other day; it was packed. I guess it must have been more along the happy hour time, and got the happy hour here every day from
4 to 7.
4 to 7. Yeah, and they got some great deals, including the grilled oysters and great beers. I mean, great drink specials and all that. So all good.
Thanks,
we'll let
Mike,
you get
again,
back.
man.
Always
Honestly,
good to see you. Thanks.
You
Have
too,
a great,
brother.
happy, healthy New Year, and we'll give it back to Lubie. And then maybe I will take a. Should we take our first break?
Yes,
and I'll try
sir.
to get bobulated or combobulated
There you go.
and undiscombobulated. We'll be back. Well, actually, let's talk about Visit Lauderdale Food and Wine Festival. VLFoodWine.com is the website. I know I've been hammering it every day because it's
why
getting
not?
closer and
It's worth it.
closer. And as I look on the website, I see more and more events are selling out. So that means time is running short. You better get online right now, VLFoodWine.com, and get your tickets to all the big events and a lot of the smaller dinners and seminars. Some of them are selling out. I think I saw that there was a wine seminar with our friend Roberto from Union Kitchen and
nice.
Bar, and I think that just sold out.
Well, makes
I
sense.
think the obviously Heritage opening dinner sold out, but there's still plenty of availability for a lot of great events. Go online, VLFoodWine.com. The big 5 events, there's still availability, and I'm going to guess that the barbecue battle might sell out real soon. And then after that, usually the grand tasting. That's on Saturday. We've got the Wednesday cocktails, the Thursday Asian theme walk and roll, the Sunday new
So the
brunch
promo
event.
code works for any of the main events.
Yes,
from
those
Wednesday on.
5 big events. Lunchbox will get you an extra 15% off the already low ticket price. Go and get your tickets now for the food lover in your life. Great holiday gift. VLFoodWine.com, where you'll get to sample some of the delicious fare, like from here, with this great coconut curry, pumpkin lobster soup, and great delicacies from all over the greater Fort Lauderdale area. All right, let's take that first break, and we'll come back with more on the Lunchbox after these words.
Hey Lunchbox fans, is it time to sell your business? You've poured your heart and soul into your restaurant or business, and you want to see continue the legacy you have built. Transworld can help. Call me, Andy Cagnetta, at Transworld Business Advisors right now and see if it's time for you to retire and relax. Iconic brands like the Mai Kai, Mulligan's, Carlos and Pepe's, Mangoes, and many more turn to Transworld to help sell. Contact Transworld on Facebook or call 954-772-1122 or visit tworld.com. Again, that's 954-772-1122 or tworld.com.
When I'm looking for some wicked good food for a wicked good lunch, there's only one place to go. That's Wicked Cheesesteaks in Fort Lauderdale. It's at 4824 North Federal Highway, just south of Commercial Boulevard and across from Holy Cross Hospital. My friend Brian there, he will hook you up with some really tasty treats. They've got cheesesteaks, just like the best you can find in Philly, along with lobster rolls, because that's where he's from, Maine originally. And they have wings and pizza and everything you want to have a really good time. Wicked Cheesesteaks. They're open every day but Tuesday. Check them out online, wickedcheesesteaks.com. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. If you're looking for a great place for steaks, seafood, and more, go to Tropical Acres Steakhouse and Butcher Shop. It's at 2500 Griffin Road in Dania, just west of I-95 and the airport. They've been there a long time, since 1949. That means they're doing something right. You'll get old school hospitality from the Studiali family, along with great value, tremendous service. Of course, you could also go into the bar for happy hour every day, 4 to 6, and they have great value all night long. Also, a butcher shop that's open every day from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. except Sunday. The dining room is open every day at 4:30 except Sunday. Go to Tropical Acres. For the finest poultry and the freshest fish, Delaware Chicken Farm and Seafood Market, located at 4191 North State Road 7 in Hollywood, open 7 days. Since 1951, a South Florida tradition for stone crab in season, Thanksgiving turkeys, holiday feasts, and everyday eating. Great steaks, house-made sausage, and prepared foods, too. Delaware is not just a market, it's a celebration of taste, quality, and old-fashioned customer service with a smile. Sign up for their weekly email flyer at DelawareChicken.com and tell them Mike Mayo and the Lunchbox sent you. When the Brooklyn boy in me wants a great bagel with lox, matzo ball soup, deli sandwich, and rugelach, you know where I go? Grandpa's Restaurant in Dania Beach. It's a South Florida institution since 1957 that was revamped a few years back by a pair of New York bagel baking legends. Full deli and appetizing case with spreads, salads, and platters for takeout and catering. Grandpa's is near Federal Highway, just north of Sterling Road, open 7 days for breakfast and lunch. Go eat and enjoy. It's Mike Mayo's Lunchbox approved. For the finest and authentic Greek cuisine, Taverna Kima is the place to go. 6298 North Federal Highway in Boca Raton. It's been around for nearly 2 decades. Every day is a feast with grilled lamb and fish, house-made spinach pie and moussaka, gyros, traditional dips, mezes, with soft, warm pita. It's open 7 days for lunch and dinner with happy hour daily from 3 to 6 p.m., indoor, outdoor, private dining, and they are now featuring a monthly lamb roast brunch on the first Sunday of every month. So celebrate life at Taverna Kima. For reservations and information. All right, we're back on the Lunchbox. We're at Even Keel Fish Shack, Lauderdale by the Sea, A1A and Commercial Boulevard. And, we had a little bonus edition this morning that we put on the Let's Eat group at noon with Paul Mercurio. I guess you guys have known him for a while, and he's coming to town. He's doing his one-man show, but that involves the whole audience.
So, like, if you're the Broward Center Performing Arts, is that, like, being at even, like, elevated? Like, is that... Like, because I haven't been at too many performances there. I used to go to the Improv a lot. So I feel like it's like our version of where you do plays, right? Like, so to me, that feels like almost elevated in a sense.
It is. It's a classy establishment, classy joint. It's not like working.
Like when he said he was there, I'm like, oh, good for you.
Yeah,
you know,
I mean, it's not like some little basement that has 50 seats and a two drink minimum. There's actually 2 theaters there. There's the main theater where they have these big Broadway productions, and he's in the what they call the Amaturo theater. Okay. That's a little bit smaller, but it still fits probably like 300 or 400 people.
Nice.
I think, what do they call it? Permission to speak, he's calling it. Yep. But he was well versed in the ways of food, and I enjoyed hearing about, he writes for the Late Show with Stephen Colbert, and I was really intrigued to hear about Colbert's cocaine and bourbon fueled binges every morning between 11 and 12 when he's getting inspiration. That was an interesting little peek behind the curtain. But also was talking about how he doesn't even like New York pizza. Paul is from Rhode Island originally, and Rhode Island pizza is similar to New Haven pizza in that it's a little bit thinner and crisper and more well done. And you
can have that one.
He doesn't like the flop. So that was interesting stuff. So, again, we posted that already, and we're going to be re-airing that during the holidays. And if you have any interest in going to his show, he seems like a really funny and bright guy.
I've gone and seen him do stand-up. He's really good. And he really does he gets the crowd involved a lot, but he doesn't, like, make fun of you. Like, it's like the stuff we were talking about today. He sort of pushes it with political correctness, but he's not rude, like, and he's really funny. He talked about the everyday stuff and just does a good job.
Yeah. There's a little bit of a conflict because that night he is, it's going to be at the same time as the barbecue battle at the food festival. And I have judging duties at the barbecue battle, so you will be going to see Paul.
I'm going to see him, yeah.
And I'll
maybe
be
Defo wants to go because he's really a lot of fun.
Eating lots of smoked meat and the like. Meanwhile, speaking of meat, I was jonesing for a cheeseburger today because I went to an event last night. It was one of these kind of like soft opening friends and families of a restaurant that's opening in Fort Lauderdale that had its share of, let's just say, it's the first time they were serving a live crowd. And as Defo knows, because he's worked in many restaurants, that opening night when it's the first time, and even though we weren't paying customers, there's a little bit of a disorganization. And but they handed us a full menu, the regular menu. We sat down and we wanted to order some things that was on the menu. Like they had a pork chop, they had a tuna tartare, they had a burger, like a smash burger, and I was in the mood for just a burger last night. And then our waiter told us, no, you can't order that.
So why did they hand?
We only have a limited menu, and it's on those little menu cards, the special menu for tonight. I was like, that's great, except we didn't get the little menu card.
Exactly.
And then nobody could seem to find one. And then we ended up reaching over to the table next to us. It was a great couple. It was Alex and Jen. Alex used to work at NBC 6, and he was actually Tony Segretto's producer.
Oh, that's funny. So that guy's great. I've met him. He's
Alex is great. And I took pictures and sent them to Tony, and Tony was like, where are you? What's going on? So it was we had a good time.
Yeah.
But our waiter seemed to be a little confused. And we tried to order, again, the pork chop would be good. Val and her allergies. I wanted just the burger. He said, no, you have to go with what's on the menu. We didn't have the little menu.
Give it to you.
So we leaned over to Alex's, and on his, it didn't offer a burger or pork chops. It just had sirloin steak, or there was a pasta dish that was safe. The other ones all had carrots in the base and stuff like that. So, we said, can we order a burger? He goes, no, that's not how it's set up today. Meanwhile, every other table we see going past is a burger and a pork chop going out. I was confused as to why this was the case, but beggars can't be choosers. So
well, what do you do there?
What do I do there?
Mr.
I don't
Mike Mayo.
complain, and I still tip the guy, and I wrote my notes up to the the PR team in place and say it was a little confusing with the communication last night. The steak I did have was excellent, very good sirloin steak and juicy and all that stuff. So anyway, I had burger on the brain, and now I have
they do a great burger here.
So
and Brad loves talking about and singing the praises.
Yeah,
of the burger.
It's a good double smash burger with grilled onions and special sauce and cheese. And again, for those who are not inclined to order seafood, right here at Even Keel, it's one of the great alternatives. But we also have the scallops with the pork belly. I'm not going to go in there today. Did you have any of that yet? Did you go?
I guess to sample that, but
I want to give
definitely appealing. They have great scallops here.
Yeah, I can
do a really good job.
So many.
Yeah,
and then
I want to see Lubie chow down on his burger too.
Oh,
yeah, we'll have maybe Lubie do a big bite for a change.
You don't want that.
What I also liked hearing from Paul was just the way that all the writers in the writers' room, while they're coming up with material, is eating and just M&Ms, junk food.
When he said it's all garbage, like that,
Right.
And they're in the middle of New York, where you can get all this great food, and it's all like snacks and garbage because they don't have time to sit down and have a full meal most of the time.
I would have thought I envisioned like containers of Chinese food, and you'd be proud of me because I did not ask whether they eat McDonald's and McRibs. Nor whether he's ever had Skyline chili. So I did refrain. Good Italian boy. That was fun. So Paul Mercurio, go check him out. I would be intrigued to see him some other time. He still does some straight stand-up shows.
Yes.
Yep.
And he travels for stand-up as well. But this is something he's transitioned to, which is really cool. I like to see his growth. And he's a guy that he's done a lot of stuff with The Late Show. He did a lot of stuff with The Daily Show. And now he's doing more and more of his own stuff. COVID sort of got in his way. He was really...
He got sick?
Uptick. He not only got sick, but it just the traveling and stuff. So he sort of, and he has a family, so he just kept it close to home. And then now he's like the last year he's venturing back out. So,
and he was a stockbroker. I didn't even get into that.
No, he was a freaking lawyer.
A lawyer, okay.
Like it's not a joke. He went to Georgetown. He was a lawyer, a practicing financial attorney, and he dealt with mergers and acquisitions. And he's told me that story. He told us that story years ago. He says it in stand-up.
So did he make some decent bank?
He was killing it. He was doing really well, but he wasn't happy. It's one of those people where you're making the money, you bust ass. He was living in New York City with calls her a wasp, his waspy wife, and he just wasn't happy. And he loved doing comedy on the side. And then literally, like, that's what's so funny is you brought it up, and Defo talked with us about him, like how comedians sort of hate people. Oh, I have these jokes. But if they're good, suddenly they don't mind you handing them their jokes, right? Like Jay Leno didn't bitch at him. Jay Leno literally weeks later reaches out to him specifically, and he thought it was a joke because his stuff was that good. So that's the problem with like when people sort of give you side eye. A lot of the time it does work still. Like you sort of have to you have to shoot your shot, and if they make fun of you because your stuff sucks, at least you tried. Because for him, he pivoted his whole career, and now I think it's been a couple decades where he's been doing stuff on television.
I could see him after his show heading over late night to Heritage, and him and Reno maybe
for sure
bonding a little bit.
Have a great time.
Make him a nice crispy thin pizza over there at Heritage. So let's see. We've got the holidays are coming up. I cannot believe that they're almost here, and it's almost 2025. I know it's early, but does anybody have any resolutions yet?
Or
that's
Defo's king of that. I'm not great with resolutions.
I resolve to keep eating, but I'm going to kind of give up on the big bites. Maybe increase the walks. I do need to do that. And maybe start Ozempic. We'll find out. I did hunt for a healthcare plan because I'm on the exchange and you have to re-up every year. January, you got deadline is December 15th to get your plan in place for January 1st. Any guesses on when I finally sat down at my computer and started looking at the different plans?
This morning?
No, it was December 15th was the deadline. So
there you go.
Deadline,
so past the deadline.
Midnight on December 15th, which was Sunday. So of course at 10:30 at night on Sunday, got on the computer and started hunting plans. But one of the things I put in besides all my doctors, because I'm not in the promised land of Medicare yet, where once you have straight Medicare, you basically
you're like a hero.
Any doctor is not just happy to take Medicare. They're happy to keep billing
they're
you.
trying to take appendages.
Take appendages. They send limos, as you said. But for those of us in the the nether world of regular healthcare, I was able through my they give these subsidies, right?
Yeah.
And based on my income, basically what would usually cost me almost $1,100 a month.
Oh Jesus!
Is now only going to be costing me about $300.
Yeah, that's amazing.
And
how did they get to 11?
Once Trump and all these people, because when you're in your late 50s and you're overweight and you have diabetes, the health insurance companies they don't even want to insure you to begin with.
Yeah.
But thanks to Obamacare and them getting rid of the pre-existing condition thing, that they now have to give it to you, but they don't have to give it to you affordably. But that's where the subsidies come in. Subsidies lapse next year. So if the current administration comes in and gets rid of them, you're going to see a lot of Americans losing their health care and then just ending up, we'll see what happens, but be careful
so
what
well,
you
as
vote
they say.
for. But getting back to getting on, one of the things I was looking for besides my doctors is do any of these health plans cover Ozempic? And I found
that's the thing that they're starting to work toward, right?
Yeah, because, for people who are...
Because it will save you money if you get people to lose weight. They don't have to have surgeries. They don't have to have stuff with their kidneys and their liver and their intestines if they're just
you don't have to start lopping off body parts. A lot of times people with diabetes.
You would think insurance companies would be smarter about preventative things because it helps them save money as much as it helps the people save money.
Well, in the long run, it does help everybody save money, but are the insurance industry people in the business of saving money, or do they want everybody to spend more and more of their paychecks on co-pays, deductibles, and the like? But now we've gone into the Mayo Clinic portion of the show, and I don't know. Instead, I'll go back and.
So what is your holiday? We always talk about the holidays with eating. And we do it with Fourth of July, and Defo always talks about what's a good big game Super Bowl party. Like, what are I know you had to jump around for Thanksgiving. I know Defo was with his in-laws and his son, and I was with my family and then my in-laws. Like, what is Christmas for you guys? Because we all come from mixed family. We're Jewish by birth, but all of our families are mixed, and there's a lot of Christmas in there. Like, what is Christmas for you guys?
Defo, you want to go first?
Same MO as we do on Thanksgiving. Essentially, Easter, family gets together. Usually either my son or his mother-in-law ends up cooking, and it's always a festive occasion.
I love that Jesse gets in the kitchen. I'm scared to go to the
kitchen.
Man
did something, though, with the turkey that it was a technique that he hadn't tried before. where you actually like sort of chop the thing into pieces
Interesting.
before the fact, although the turkey is still intact.
Yeah.
But you sort of cut it up, and I have to tell you, it came out great.
Nice.
It was unbelievable. And then when you served it, there were like big chunks of, I'm a white meat guy, so big chunks of white meat, and it couldn't have been any more tender. It really added a lot of, people always complain about real dried out turkey, and they don't like it for that reason. But whatever you did, this technique of cutting it up sort of in advance.
Before the cooking.
Absolutely was a sensation.
Good for him.
Yeah. It requires less cooking time, and it comes out
But it's smart.
moist.
And you keep people's attention. That's the problem with my mom is like she's cooking while we're there.
It's all temperature control. That's key to the game. Christmas, it used to be.
So this is the first
with my daughter.
Christmas, right?
Yeah, well, you were
together last year, but
we were together last year, but
it was a
not
discussion
living in the same place. And now, it's everything is. She has her traditions, and it's basically her whole family comes to her place for Christmas morning, like Christmas brunch at about, I guess, 1:00 or so. So I'm gearing up for that. Val loves to cook, and I don't know what's going to be on the table for the Christmas Day brunch. Christmas Eve, my daughter and Michelle are big into the Feast of the Seven Fishes. So, I'll be, I'm sure, picking up some things at Delaware Chicken and Seafood, which is a perfect segue into our second break. But Delaware Chicken and Seafood, if you do want to order things for Christmas Eve or New Year's Eve, the stone crabs, again, what Gene was saying when we were there the other day is order that in advance because supplies do tend to be limited and they do run out. And so if you want to make sure that you have 5 pounds of large stone crab for New Year's Eve or Christmas Eve, you better give them a call right now. And it's 954-983 and 68 something.
No, the number's up there.
It's up there. Good. We got it on the crawl.
Yes.
And because, again, discombobulated Mike is not a happy Mike, but, we had one of those days. And but the bottom line is Delaware, 4191 North State Road 7 in Hollywood. It's been there for over 60 years. It's the home of freshness and value and efficiency. You could make your order, and then you're in and out of there really like a breeze on Christmas Eve. It gets a little hectic in there. Again, 954-983-6831 is the number to order. You could ask for Gene, or if he's not there, just anybody will be happy to take the order for your holidays that are upcoming. And again, they're going to be closed on Christmas Day, and I believe closed on New Year's Day, but they will be open on the eves. So get in there and pick up your stuff. Delaware, tell them the Lunchbox sent you. All right, let's take that second break, Lubie.
Yes, sir.
And we'll be back with more from Even Keel Fish Shack in Lauderdale by the Sea. Southern comfort food from a scratch kitchen. Delicious drinks and house-made spirits from a craft bar. A great vibe inside and out with a spacious patio. I'm talking about Batch New Southern Kitchen and Tap, Fort Lauderdale, in the heart of the city at 525 North Federal Highway. It's open 7 days for lunch, dinner, and weekend brunch with classics like fried chicken and waffles and shrimp and grits, and creative items like pecan-crusted salmon and a fried green tomato BLT. And the drinks? Smooth sipping and so good. There's convenient free parking and a garage next door, happy hour at the bar, an entire patio, 4 to 7 Monday to Friday, and live music every Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. It's pet and people friendly and with cozy fire pits for when the temperature dips. For reservations and more information, go to batchsouthernkitchen.com. If you like seafood in a comfortable setting, outdoors, Even Keel Fish Shack at the corner of A1A and Commercial Boulevard in Lauderdale by the Sea, and also now with a new location on Las Olas Boulevard. Those are my spots. Upscale food and a down-home setting. The chef owners, Dave and Brad, do a terrific job with all the seafood classics that you want. They have the best grilled oysters in town, bang bang shrimp, lobster rolls, and deli fish specials. They also have weekend brunch Saturday and Sunday. They have deli happy hour 4 to 7, and they also have other weekly specials like mussels on Monday and oysters on Tuesday. Go to Even Keel Fish Shack and tell them that the Lunchbox sent you. If you want great Italian food in a beautiful beachfront setting, have I got the place for you. Casa Calabria at the Ocean Manor Resort, 4040 Galt Ocean Drive in Fort Lauderdale. Highly rated across all the restaurant review platforms and totally Mike Mayo's Lunchbox approved. Delicious, authentic Southern Italian food in a cozy dining room overlooking the Atlantic.
Live music in the lounge, full bar, and a great wine list. Owner Frank Talrico takes great pride in his family recipes from his native Calabria. Fresh fish and seafood, veal, house-made pastas, and marinara sauces smooth as silk. You gotta try the imported meats and cheeses on the antipasta platters, and don't miss that ricotta gnocchi, fluffy little pillows straight from heaven. Casa Calabria, open for dinner Tuesday through Sunday, closed on Mondays.
Looking for great seafood that's a little further inland? Luke's Seafood and Grill. That's Luke's with a C. 5511 South University Drive in Davie. Luke and Roxy, they're a great couple with great food. It's a mom and pop shop bringing the freshest fish and seafood to Western Broward. Some of the best jambalaya and fish cakes around. And Scooby-Dooby-Doo, where are you? You can find his famous Scoobies, those sauteed crab claws, right there on the specials board most days. Oh, so good. So take a trip to University just north of Sterling today. Lunch, dinner, closed on Mondays. Tell them Mike Mayo's Lunchbox sent you. When people come to me and say, Mike, where should I go out to eat? I got guests coming from out of town. Where should we go? Cafe Seville. That's the answer. 2768 East Oakland Park Boulevard. It's a Fort Lauderdale perennial, serving the finest in Spanish and continental cuisine in a cozy, friendly, comfortable setting. Joey Esposito and Sally, his better half, they've been running the place for a long time. It's been open since the 1980s. They got great Spanish classics like paella, shrimp with garlic sauce, and all kinds of great seafood dishes. The stuffed veal chop, oh, that's my favorite. Go to Cafe Seville. It's open every day but Sunday at 5 p.m. for dinner. Tell them that the Lunchbox Mayo and Defo sent you. Feel like getting away without leaving town? Then you got to check out the House on the River in Fort Lauderdale. It's a beautiful restored historic home with indoor and outdoor dining right on the new river. You'll think you're in Charleston or Savannah. It has a gorgeous patio, porches, and private dining areas, and it offers unique experiences perfect for a date night or fun times with friends and family. It has weekend brunches, happy hour, dinner Wednesday through Sunday. There's also a high tea on Friday and Saturdays, and the popular House of Veuve Champagne experience on weekends. The House on the River is in Fort Lauderdale's Himmershey district, just south of the Science Museum. For reservations and information, go to We're back here at Even Keel Fish Shack in beautiful Lauderdale by the Sea. Just got word from my friend Dan Cook, who has historic roots with the Mai Kai because his dad danced there in the early days. And, you know, the Mai Kai just reopened.
Yep. Shirley was
After
bringing up going there. I'm like, we're
major
supposed to be getting in there.
Renovation. And it's funny because it's one of those things. It's only been back open about 6 weeks, and 3 weeks were like a soft opening. They kind of did a very staggered, quiet. Well, they try to make it quiet, but then the owner told the Sun Sentinel they were opening November 1st, and it created this whole tizzy. Meanwhile, so there's a group out there besides Let's Eat South Florida, but it's called Friends of the Mai Kai. And I've been watching and looking at the Friends of the Mai Kai group just to kind of see, because there's been a couple of, smattering of reviews on the Let's Eat
The reviews
group.
have been weird.
And it seems like the place is, it's finding its footing. It's a huge place, and it's not all open yet. They don't have all the different rooms and all the different shows and all the different menus and kitchens open yet. So it seems like it's very much a work in progress, which is, usual for a new place. And it's hard when it's a high profile, internationally known place, and everybody wants everything to be ready from the get-go. Yep. So anyway, Dan, who's very sympathetic, he basically was in there Saturday, and he said the drinks were great, the place looks beautiful, but that there was still kind of some things going on as far as the food and things like that. But I noticed that a lot of people on the Friends of the Mai Kai group were kind of just doing these Let's Eat-esque rip jobs of the place. And
really?
So I threw a post on there yesterday. Very unusual for me to post on another Facebook group besides Let's Eat, because believe me, one is enough to deal with. But I just left a note of like, after seeing, I haven't been to the new Mai Kai yet, I said. I'm interested in going. I said, and I've been reading some of the things here, and with friends like this, who needs enemies?
Those are friends.
And some people chimed in saying, look, some people, again, they give constructive criticism. There have been some definite problems with the reservation system, a little bit confusion anytime there's a new thing. Yeah. So, all I'm going to say is be patient. And I would tell Shirley not to go jumping in there just
I thought because we're going to go do something there. So I figured we'll go there and scope it out before like her and I, because I've never been there.
Right.
I've driven by a million times because the professor lived over there, Devo's lived over there, so I've always driven by it. Never knew it was open. Like it always looked closed whenever I've driven past it. And now the last 3 months, I've heard more about it than I heard about it in my whole freaking life.
The entire 30 years that it was open before, I guess it was flooding and rain and things. The roof caved in.
Like, are we in a place where people are okay if food's with a good show? Like, I feel like that's what it was made to be, and I feel like it was an era where people were okay with that. Like, you go to a cruise, like it's about the shows,
right.
It's about the things,
not to be
and
harsh.
the food can be hit or miss. Like, I thought that's what they were trying to do, but I feel like we're in a different place where people want everything to be amazing all the time,
right?
And I don't know if you can get that, like, anywhere.
You get it, because I used to go there a bunch. We used to have a bunch of like going away farewell retirement parties for people at the Sun Sentinel. That we would go to the Mai Kai. Some people just love the whole, tiki bar, kitschy nature. Those really good, powerful drinks, these rum drinks. But yeah, let's face it, it was never about the food there. It was about the show, the vibe, and the drinking. And, you would just get a poo-poo platter, which was like a mixed
stuff
thing of some ribs and an egg roll and some other little nibbling things. And that's it. That was the extent of what you wanted. You didn't want to go in there and actually think you were going to get some gourmet meal. But again, they do have a full menu, and the thinking is if you're going to have a full menu of stuff, then it better be good.
Be edible, yeah.
And the revamped menu that I've seen, they're charging a pretty penny because obviously the rebuild cost about $13 million, and you got to recoup that somehow. So it's that balance now that people are paying a lot of money and they expect something.
Then you got to amp it up,
and you really got to deliver. And this is the challenge. I think we're going to be in there at the end of January if we're going to make some arrangements with our friend, Andy Cagnetta and Transworld that conducted some of the transactions that allowed for new blood to come in and infuse and kind of what Steve Ross has done with the Dolphins, where he's got an infusion of capital. And some of the old owners still have equity in the place, but now there's a new Miami restaurateur, Bill Fuller, I think his name is. So we're going to try to have Bill Fuller on the show. We'll give it another month or 6 weeks after the holiday season. We'll get in there by the end of January, and we'll check out the scene at the Mai Kai. But it has definitely been a major talking point, and like you said, it seems like there's more.
I've only seen negatives, and I'm like, people talk about this place so fondly. How far off could it have fallen like that? And they're like, well, the food. I'm like, I don't remember ever hearing anyone say the food was amazing. Like, it wasn't about the food. So, like, are we in a place where people can accept that food's average when you go out for a night? Because that's how it used to be, and look, places like even Keel give you both a great view and great food. And we've learned a lot of places have become really good at giving you an experience and giving you good food. But the Mai Kai, from what I know, was not that. Like, it was never known as that. Like,
no, it wasn't. Yeah, like you said, it's you go to a place and you play to its strengths, and that place
again, like the Improv. When I would see Mercurio go to the Improv, or I'd see Marlon Wayans or whatever, like, you would get food because you're there, but you weren't bitching about it online the next day when it was horrendous. Because again, it's a freaking Improv. Like, so I'm just curious. Like, when people bitch about places like this, I'm like.
Although, to its credit, I mean, places like the Funky Biscuit up in
they have
Boca,
solid food.
They have some good food. Their wings, I went a couple times with you, Defo, and I found all their fare more than it was more than adequate. It was good. It was good value too. So I guess all the places are going to find their way, and due to the relentless nature of social media and capitalism,
you sort of have to be on your game.
There will be winners and losers, but I think. The Mai Kai is so well regarded enough that there are enough.
I'd like it to work. Like, I like that we have things like that here, and I want people to go out and events, and then it'll take you out east, right? So maybe you go there and then you go to somewhere else out east if you're from the west. It's just funny that people's sensibilities are very tight and like they're waiting to pounce, and it's like, okay, sometimes you have to sort of understand what you're getting into. Yeah. At least to me.
Hey, meanwhile, somebody put something in the group. I didn't approve it yet, but you are out in Coral Springs. Was there a place called Deja Blue or something like that?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I heard you talking about this, and I think I saw it there, and I've never heard of it.
But it says that it closed, so I don't know if that's true or not. But that's another thing that's I got to check out. Or I thought it was kind of a Pan-Asian place, but always...
You're saying Mediterranean.
Oh, okay. Well, is it open or closed? But we don't know. Somebody was saying they thought it closed, but... Such also is the nature of life in the restaurant business. Places open and close, although they usually don't close right before the peak season.
you would think they
Just
try to make it through the
try
season.
to get through a little bit more. Anyway, let's take our third and final break, and then we'll wrap up this edition of the Lunchbox because I got to be honest, I'm out of gas today. I got nothing. Paul Mercuro took a lot out of me.
I'm
He
sure.
was fast on his feet. But before we take that break, let me talk about Tropical Acres because I have not been giving them any.
The love
Well,
they
I mean, I
bring.
give them a lot of love all the time, but this week I got to mention that they still have some availability for New Year's Eve. And I think they have a little bit of availability left for Christmas Day. They're open 1 to 8 p.m. So give them a call for the reservation, 954-989-2500. That is the number. And they're so old school there. They only take reservations by phone. You can't do it online. And that's because they do things the old school way there. And that includes great service, great value. They don't try to gouge you with everything. You go in there for happy hour at the bar from 4:30 to 6:30, and you'll get unbelievably good drinks, half price on all the premium liquors, good deals on beer and wine. They also have good light bites during happy hour, like coconut shrimp, and also have some sirloin sliders, all good stuff.
Yeah,
And then, of course, you go in for the main dining room for the sit-down dinners.
And
And
the
you
parents
get-
are still talking about the meal we had like a month ago.
that's good because, that's also a place that has some people that just are diehard fans through the decades. It's been there 75 years, and I'm one of them. I've been going there for 30 years. And I'm glad to say that. My daughter, back in town for winter break, she loves it. She's itching to get back in there. 19-year-old who loves their
Good
prime
food, yeah.
rib, and you'll love all their selection, seafood, prime rib, filet mignon, all the greatest hits. Go into Tropical Acres and tell them the Lunchbox sent you. Let's do it, Lubie. Let's take that final break. Then we'll get out of here. We'll let Defo go back to the bank, see if there's any other people clogging up the drive-through lanes.
Can't afford to have to wait too long this time.
Is there a deposit cutoff time? Like you got to get it in by 3 in order for it to be credited that day?
2 o'clock is usually the
cutoff.
day of, but
Okay.
in this case, it just needs to go in.
Look at
Oh,
Man,
thank you, Bob.
on service.
Wow.
Hey, thank you. Thank you, Josh. Oh, thank Bob. I didn't
No,
see
this
Bob.
is
I thought it was
Boxing Bob.
Josh.
It's
I didn't
Boxing
see.
Bob, man.
No,
one of the
I didn't
greats.
see. Josh is the bartender working today, and then we got Bob is here. We got. Look at this, people giving us
Just bringing
beer.
us drinks. Look at
Life
you.
is good. All right, let's take the third final break. We'll be back from Even Keel Fisher. When people ask me about the best restaurants in South Florida, Casa D'Angelo is always at the top of my list. First class dining, top flight service, elegant atmosphere, and chef founder Angelo Ilia is legendary. The flagship in Fort Lauderdale has been serving the finest Italian cuisine since 1997, with other locations in Boca Raton and Aventura. As Angelo himself says, they have an unwavering commitment to unparalleled quality with meticulous attention to details. It's so good, with house-made pastas, pristine seafood, unique meats like elk chops and bison, and seasonal specialties including fragrant fresh truffles from Italy. All locations open 7 days for dinner. Reservations recommended for a special occasion or any occasion. Casa D'Angelo. Tell them Mike Mayo sent you. Delicious Mexican food with innovative twists. Margaritas with a medley of tongue-tingling flavors. I'm talking about Taco Craft, Taqueria, and Tequila Bar. The place to go on Taco Tuesday and every day. It's located at 510 North Federal and Highway in Fort Lauderdale, and also in Lauderdale by the Sea at Plantation Walk, and soon in Coral Springs. Taco Craft has specials every day, including bottomless drinks for a Sunday brunch, and Taco Tuesdays with their $4 premium tacos, including their new burrito tacos with bone marrow broth. Oh, it's so good. They've even made a taco lover out of me, and they've got so much more, including fajitas, that open-faced smashed cheeseburger tortilla that's new, and a guacamole sample that's an explosion of flavors. The kitchen is open late. There's delivery and takeout. For more information, go to tacocraft.com. Tell them Mike Mayo, the Lunchbox, sent you. Hey, it's Mayo for Gilbert's 17th Street Grill. You know me, I love family-run places with quality food at fair prices served with passion and pride. And that's why I love Gilbert's. For more than a decade, Lenore, Beth, and Richie Gilbert have been serving up the best burgers, wings, ribs, salads, and desserts. It's a fast casual spot. Everything prepared fresh to order from an immaculate open kitchen. They're at 1821 Cordova Road in Fort Lauderdale in the Cordova Shops just south of 17th Street. Open every day but Sunday. One of my favorite burgers in South Florida. Big, round, juicy pucks of 100% Angus beef, char grilled to perfection. And don't miss the sweet potato fries on the side. They're legendary. Go to Gilbert's, feast, and be happy. Hey, it's Mayo here for Prezzo Italian Restaurants. 2 locations, Boca Raton at Park Place on Military Trail and Palm Beach Gardens in the PGA Commons on PGA Boulevard. Contemporary Italian cuisine with house-made pastas, wood-fired pizzas, salads, veal, chicken, and of course their famous focaccia bread with oven-roasted garlic bulbs. In Garlic We Trust is their slogan, and you can trust Prezzo for a great experience with gracious service and tremendous value. Open 7 days, featuring brunch, lunch, dinner, and happy hour. Great wine deals and full bar at both locations. For reservations and more information, go to Eat. All right, we're back on the Lunchbox and at Even Keel Fish Shack. Tomorrow, we're going to be at Luke's Seafood and Grill. That's in beautiful Davie on University Drive, 5511 South University Drive.
University just north of Sterling, right?
Yeah, it's
that's
north
why
of Sterling.
I keep confusing University and Pine Island.
It's
2 roads I
south
grew up
of
with.
South of Griffin, between Griffin and Sterling,
on University.
and right near the dealership.
On the west side.
Dude, that used to be one of what's his name?
Kim Bokamper, University Dodge. Yeah.
Thank you. That's it. University Dodge is right there, and also that Mitsubishi dealership is there. It's right behind there, the car wash. It's great. It's got the good jambalaya, all kinds of good seafood. We're on a seafood tip. Tomorrow I'll be back to eating seafood. I got the burger out of my system.
I mean, Luke does a fantastic. I don't know. Does he do anything that's not? I don't know if he has.
He also has burgers and
he does a good
he does
burger.
all kinds of good stuff over there. So
We just always get seafood there. He does such a good job.
Thursday we'll be with Lenore. I'm not going to have a burger this time. I'm going to go with some chicken sandwiches and some fish sandwiches there. I'm going to go totally against the grain all week. But Gilbert's 17th Street Grill, which is more than just a great burger, but they do have great burgers. Friday at 10 Palms at Gulfstream. I did firm up. We're going to be working Boxing Day, the day after Christmas. We're going to go to Wicked Cheesesteaks because no year would be complete without a trip to visit our friend Brian.
They just had that weird post, and we usually don't refer to things like that, but I like, to me, looking at that group, I've sort of gotten good at telling the people that are looking for the negative. Like,
you can also tell people that when it's a hit job and a plant.
Well, we've had their wings a ton of times. You don't have to like their wings, but you can't say they're flavorless. Like, the wings are really good there, and the same thing with they make bread.
Here's what I like about
like, they're bread makers.
What I like about
the bread
Brian
was soggy. Like, what are you
is that
talking
he
about?
takes the high road. He gets it. He says, I don't want to start getting into a pissing match online. Not everybody's going to like everything. We all have some bad days, as I can attest today. But no, he basically didn't want to get involved, but he was just curious because this guy posted this thing on Sunday. Brian didn't get to see it till this morning because he's been busy working.
Yeah.
But he was like saying the guy mentioned how the mac and cheese bites were just and Brian said, I haven't had mac and cheese bites on the menu for like over 6 weeks. So it makes you go, So if this guy is posting something 6 weeks after the fact, because the guy didn't mention exactly when he went in there.
He didn't.
And if you wait 6 weeks before posting that something is negative, it makes you wonder what's going on. So
yeah, I mean, look, I didn't slam the guy. Again, you're allowed to have opinions, and that's fine. Everyone loves everything. But the stuff he said, it was like, that's just not true. Like, we've eaten there. We've sent a lot of people there.
Food is subjective. So maybe
flavorless. Like, come on. Like,
maybe the guy had COVID. I don't know. It's things are subjective, but we do know what's
I'm just defensive
fact.
because
And what's fact is there's not been any mac and cheese bites on the menu for a while. So if a guy is writing about the mac and cheese bites being meh, then when were you in there? And is that an honest review? Look, I sometimes don't write positive things on the group. Because I go around to eat so many places. Sometimes I don't get to writing something until a month after the fact, but it's always a positive thing. I want to spotlight positive places. I don't understand going in for a late hit and run job, but again, such is the nature of social.
And I appreciate how the restaurateurs take it, including Brian and his wife, and I get it, and that's fine because they were flooded with retorts. So that's usually what happens with these negative posts. Is a lot of the time people come to their defense, so it works out either way. It's what they criticize to me. Like, we've had these dishes, and I've never, and it's not because my wife and I had Wicked multiple times before we went out there. I live 40 minutes away from Wicked when it's high traffic. We had it delivered with an app. So just consider the kind of level of food we would get going 40 minutes with a delivery service on an app. It literally took over an hour to get the food to our house, and we did it multiple times. That's how good Wicked was, just from a customer standpoint. So it's just hard for me to fathom the things I was reading. That's only my contention with a lot of these things.
I just always enjoy comments from people who, like, I don't want to say they don't know what they're talking about, but like somebody was talking about, oh, well, you know, the roll was soggy.
Yeah.
And then, you know, basically,
How's
I
that
think
impossible?
he uses Amoroso rolls, which is what traditional cheesesteak places in the Philly area use Amoroso
Again,
rolls.
they make their own bread.
It's the gold standard of rolls. He's using the Amoroso rolls for the cheesesteaks. And then somebody piped in Amoroso rolls are the white bread of rolls. And it's like, yeah, but that's what they use for cheesesteaks in Philadelphia. So,
You're trying to go down this harangue. I don't poo-poo every negative review, but sometimes it's like places we know well. It's like,
yeah, well, look, we stand up for our friends, especially if we feel like they're being unfairly maligned. And, you know, that felt like a little unfair malignment there.
so we'll
Whereas
set things
if
straight
you
this
anybody
Thursday.
wants to criticize my performance today, that would be a fair
Fair
malignment because
A
I
fair
am
criticism.
discombobulated. And but anyway, that's going to do it for today. We'll try again tomorrow.
Brad, happy birthday.
I started
presume it was a
strong.
good birthday.
Brad, I hope it was good. Today, by the way, this is something that people consider maybe insufferable. One of the things that makes me me. Today's my half birthday.
Okay.
I don't know if anybody celebrates the half
After the
birthday,
age of
December
2?
17th. So I am now 58 and a half, which means in my warped world, I always round up. So
you're
now
59.
I'm 59, but I'm not 60 yet. And there's still hope for me yet,
Yeah, we'll
maybe,
see.
if the Ozempic gets approved on the new health plan. All right, how's that for bringing it all back around? All good.
Tomorrow from Luke's, Davey.
See you, Luke's. Enjoy every grilled oyster, all this beautiful soup, and enjoy every sandwich. Later.